Chapter 14. Odd Couples. Hollywood is a funny place where rivals who hate each other's guts are forced to soul-kiss each other under a slow broil lights, while a crowd of unsympathetic onlookers observes them with a singular intensity. Though it happened at one of Hollywood's offshore outposts, the situation is summed up nicely by an incident on the set of Bolero, when Bo Derek, after a week of soul-kissing scenes with an Italian, discovered that her handsome partner's lip had blossomed with an open sore of active herpes. Little Bo freaked. The poor guy was fired and replaced. It took some sweet-talking from hubby John to coerce her to continue with another hunk. The herpes kiss. So ends our romance with Hollywood. Yet Hollywood has been the scene of some great couples. True love. True romance. Take one. Carole Lombard and Russ Columbo. That's a good name, by the way. Carole Lombard and Clark Gable. Take two. And take three. Carol and War Bonds. Fade to black. Mitch Leeson and Billy Daniels. The gay Hollywood couple seemingly semper fidelis until Billy's one indiscretion was discovered by Mitchell, who complained cuttingly. Billy snuffed himself. Hollywood's intense quickie affairs are more common. Who's to say that fabulous one-night stands are less than a, quote, lifetime of fidelity, end quote. So let me set forth for your contemplation Tinseltown's most unlikely couples, and I'm not talking about holding hands. Are you ready for Tallulah? Her ambidextrous AC/DC nature is fairly well known. A female Don Juan. To her, conquest was all, which led her to tackle the challenge of Sister Amy Semple McPherson, as if to say, you too can be had. Patsy Kelly, on the other hand, was just a steady pal, comfy as an old shoe. The challenge? Well, did you know Tallulah was also a chubby chaser? Are you ready to picture La Bankhead making it with female ink spot Hattie McDaniel? Lord. Tattoo. Female ink spot, good Lord. Whatever. I didn't write this. Tallulah loved to disappear from the Hollywood honky crowd now and then, and head for Darktown over on West... Oh, Jesus. Darktown, that's his words, over on West Adams in L.A., where Hattie, through wit-dim menfolk, after her painful divorce, found comfort on the bosom of another Southern lady. Southern soul spoke to Southern soul, and that's why those ladies were no tramps. Are you ready for Clara Bow, Brooklyn's red-hot redhead, having mad, passionate sex with Bela Lugosi? Yes, Clara, often the aggressor, picked Bela up after she saw him on stage at the Biltmore in the 1928 touring company of Dracula. 3 years before it all began again for Bela on the old Universal lot. 3 years before mental breakdown took Clara away from the too much of everything Tinseltown scene to 20 years of insomnia in Nevada. Afterward, Clara would speak... A lot of photos. Fondly of Bela, ships that cross in the night. Will Rogers and Shirley Temple. Will's secret obsession, hit between the eyes by bold little Shirley, the Oklahoma cowboy, found no philosophy to heal his shattered heart. Unrequited love. It drove the randy old rope twirler to devise a way to bore a hole into Shirley's dressing room at T.C. Fox in an agony evocative of death in Venice. Did Shirley know? Listen, Graham Greene was right in a way when he accused her in 1934 of being a 50-year-old dwarf. She knew. She knew a lot, and she loved Will, like an uncle. William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies. Ooh, now surely there are no surprises regarding this long-exposed to public scrutiny, illicit, adulterous affair. Yet picture it. Willie and Marion meeting cute at the Follies. She just barely sweet 16. He, big, proto-warbucks, rich and powerful, pushing 60. And they hit it off immediately and made a perfect pair. It hadn't been written yet, but the Follies Orchestra should have been playing September Song. Hearst had a double reason to be furious with Herman Mankiewicz, his erstwhile house guest at San Simeon who told tales out of school. Marion never walked out on Hearst, as Susan Alexander walked out on old fusspot Charlie Kane. Marion remained faithful and devoted and in love with William Randolph until death and his estranged sons took away his body. And there was a further reason why William Randolph Hearst was really so livid with Mankiewicz and his proxy radio interloper upstart boy wonder Orson Welles. Hearst's secret pet love named for his little girl lover's pussy poo, his shared fun tag for the clinically durus genitalia, and its perky love bump, oh my god, Marion Davies' clitoris, of course, was the adorable and quite graphic Rosebud. Marion, of course, drank the only character trait she shared with the functional Susan Alexander, and someone, was it Louise Brooks, shared the giggled confidence. Well as secrets will, one whisper led from mouth to ear to the steel-trapped mind of Herman Mankiewicz, and he made a mental note. Marion Davies equals Rosebud. We all know where Rosebud ended up on the dying lips of Charles Foster Kane, the crusty old role model for this fictional RKO photoplay, originally simply titled American, the slightly sagging totem pole W.R. Hearst. It was rotten enough that Marian's clitoris was mentioned throughout the Kane picture. Everybody is always harking back to Rosebud, niggling away at the word like a kid with a loose tooth. But for Hearst, it was even worse than the old man Kane died, with Rosebud on his lips. Much worse that cinematic cunnilingus, that the final sight of Rosebud frying and blistering on the flaming sled in Xanadu's furnace. But riled almost beyond all human endurance, old dragon Fafner Hearst proved that he was a gentleman. He wasn't a Texan. No guns were called for. Well, look, as a Texan, not everybody owns guns, but I see what he means. Orson and Herman squeaked through their triumph, not a material one. Citizen Kane, the movie's magnificent put-on. That was the end of that chapter. And there's a part of me that wonders if that is really true or not, and I kind of don't know if I want it to be or not. It is what it is. Thank you again.